on our research, we looked at the whole journey for a family when they go on a long journey. We started looking for the journey from the car to the waiting area of the station to the train and to the actual destination. And the place where we found we could improve on was the place where you wait, because that's an area where it's not very safe, you don't feel secure necessarily, and it's just a negative part of the journey. So we thought about improving on that, and that's where the family can comes in, and that's about it.
And I really love the fact that you brought in, you were an international team and you guys brought in all those perspectives on the local culture. And that's really, it's just a lovely project and it's very iconic.
We're doing a project that we've called Lean on Me, and it's basically a way that we can make standing on a bus more attractive to people and a little bit more comfortable and a more pleasant experience. And we kind of decided on that because we were originally talking about maybe making things more comfortable. How can we create a personal space on a bus? Like, why don't people ride the bus usually? Because it's kind of cramped, the experience isn't that great. But as we started to look into why people end up not going on the bus, we figured out that not everybody gets a seat. So improving the seating and making it more comfortable wasn't going to help anything. So we said maybe we can rethink it. How can we make it so that standing on the bus is more attractive? And then you can fit more people and improve navigation and just overall make it more attractive for people to ride the bus.
I love the care. I also love the images that you did on the buses and the insights that you had around that really gave it some depth around how people actually behave on buses, what they actually do. You went out and you saw that, you did the homework, you went out and you saw how people actually behave and you designed something for them.
Our concept is in order for employees who work within a company to share a ride so that there's less cars on the road is the main purpose. You have like one person, say Carl, and Carl goes up to the screen or at his office, at his desk, or even perhaps by his iPhone. He clicks in his destination where he wants to travel to, and up pops up various other employees who are also travelling there, say Lena, for example. Carl then just puts in his details, sends his account details as well, just for it's automatically calculated how much the passenger has to pay. And then he goes and he meets Lena at the end of his workday and they travel home together and enjoy a shared ride.
We're focusing on how we can sort of take the pressure of the peak hour transport, both the morning traffic and the bus and train traffic. So by creating this system, inviting people to join, we're focusing on, for example, take the bus route 5A in Copenhagen. First of all, what we need to do would look at all the commuters who use this bus route, and then see where they work, invite these companies to form a small group, a community, and then figure out some flex hours. So somebody meets in at 8:30 a.m. and the other guys meet in at 8 a.m. So that sort of takes the pressure of the 5A bus. So instead of everybody going at the same time, we divide the pressure, and people will have a more pleasant and comfortable ride.
If Dienbil Minbil is asking people to share cars and enabling them to do that and enabling them to start thinking together and traveling together, Flock of Birds is asking them to travel at different times separately and that's really significant for a couple of reasons, because I think this is where context comes into play. That this solution here, back here, Dienbil Minbil, is really well suited probably to a place like Kolding, where You actually, it's not a high density of population, and you want people to team up, so you're not having all these individual cars creating all this carbon, et cetera. And probably if and there is traffic here. When things go wrong, there is traffic, obviously. But Flock of Birds is saying, no, well, systemically, we want to base a system around getting people to do staggered commuting.
Our project is called City Lines, so it's about redesigning a sign system for the bus users of Koling, because we found that the bus system right now is very hard to understand. There's no schedule in the bus stops, and there's no information practically. So we thought about redesigning the whole thing from the bus poles until the schedule and everything that is useful for bus users. We were inspired by a swan chair, which is an iconic Danish symbolic in design. So our pole is actually, it's inspired by the swan. It has a Lillegård line, and we wanted people to recognize the bus stop from far away. And we also focus on color coding, so every line would have a code, and there would be lines that would be painted on the streets, so you can just follow the line and then find the closest bus stop.
When you talk to people, you saw that people waiting for a bus would try to, this is what we human beings do, is in the name of progress, we'll do something very irrational, like try to walk to the next bus stop, while, instead of standing there waiting for the bus, just so that we can walk to the next bus stop and catch the bus. And I thought that, and you've created a whole world around that, which was around that insight, which is fantastic.
The Boxy project is about trying to combine the good things from public transportation and the private transportation. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to make a combination of a bus and a taxi. It's a bus service that takes you from door to door, and the normal concept from the bus, where you are hooked up on a schedule, is taken down. So it's more flexible. So this taxi bus, you can order it over your phone, and it will take you from where you are to where you want to go. So that's basically the concept of the Boxy.
I think that you've gotten to a scheduleless transit system that's based on demand, and that's a really, really interesting place to be. And I think that if you were to take that forward, it could solve a lot of really interesting, solve a lot of really hard problems in very unique, novel ways that seem to make sense.